G'day guys, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. Another episode to bring you up to date. I've been absent again for a couple of days. The weather has been absolutely lousy here, guttering all full of bloody leaves. The drains blocked up yesterday, 92 mils of rain in 90 minutes. Had to take all the bloody pine bark back up the gardens. Anyway, I'm kind of over garden work. I've been trying to lay out a program for me for the start of this year, and I did originally want to get stuck straight into the horizontal borer. I've got the VFD for it, but I'm still trying to nut out a circuit diagram, and the fellow's helping me with that. I just hope I can get it right first time around. I don't want to be that frozen butterfly. So I then took back to tiller cutter grinders, and I've got the old TOS that's in the carport, or the Haro that came down from Clive, and I've been trying to make up my mind which way to go. And I'm starting to lean towards the Haro because the TOS has a linear scale, but it's the only thing it's got, and it's very, very old, and I sent it overscale and I can't reset it. I would like to have bloody scales if I could, but this thing's got a pretty good range of accessories with it, and it's Swiss made. You can really see it in the quality. There are a few things, some dunny heads been greasing the bloody slides rather than oiling them. Oh Jesus, I hate that. And a few of the smaller parts are missing, but I've got most of the wheel guards. I've even got the coolant system that I probably won't end up using, but it's this all angle head that really caught my eye. It's raise and lower, full swings around and tilts as well. And as well as that, there's an extension arm that you can put on and then mount the head here, so you can bring it right over the table. So not only is it universal, it's, I think, very, very well put together and thought out. Now electrically, that old girl, the Kearns, is mid-1960s, and the wiring loom from the motor up to the 3-speed switch specifically is what's crook with it. And I don't know whether it's coolant attacked the bloody insulation, but when you've got 14 volts and the plastic or rubber is just falling off the wires, it's dangerous to use. So I'm in the process now of deciding what I'm going to do. If I can hole saw a hole in the side of the frame and just get my hand in and quickly run a wires up to the 3-speed switch, that might be the way to do it. But I'm thinking now of just cutting out most of the old switches and put a VFD in and run it off that. This machine, another reason I chose this is somebody's already had a go at the electrics, but I don't think they were quite up to speed. My electric knowledge is only very basic. But when you put a mega across everything and it comes off at 20 mega ohms, I'm quite happy. The motor's at least good, but it wasn't understood. There's 3 red wires, 3 blue wires, and 1 yellow wire. Well, to me, that's 2 different windings and an earth wire, but it overcame poor Clive. He couldn't figure it, so it passed down to me. But I'm thinking I've got the wiring outlet, and I've got a wiring diagram back up at the house. If I can figure out which is the high-speed winding, I should be able to put the VFD on that and get a very, very well-controlled motor. Now, another reason I like this is it all runs around a collet system in the main spindle, and it states it's a precision ground spindle, and all the wheel hubs are on stub shafts, and they're beautifully ground, very precise, and it's a quick change wheel setup, which is something I'd really like. I will have to build a balancing jig if I'm going to use this machine. Now, it was made with a bit of cylindrical grinding in intention, and the feed wheels are 125mm diameter, well graduated with a little perspex window over the top of that one. You turn the hand wheel to raise and lower, and it's got a nice little scale behind the glass window again. It's got a scale for the rotate of the head and for the tilt. So all in all, I think it'll be a reasonable machine. The accessories clamp over double inverted V-ways. So yeah, I'm leaning towards this machine for a good reason. I'm thinking I'll just be able to reroute that conduit with the cable to where one of the switches comes out the side here, and mount the VFD on the side of the main frame. So all up, it should be something reasonably easy. A good clean down, bit of kerosene to flush out the waves, and oil them, and I think it'll be a goer. Anyway, I'll dismount you from the A-frame and give you a bit of a look around and see if I can poke the camera inside, give you a look in there. Back in a minute. Now I'll be a little bit shaky here. You can see there's the existing switches, etc. It's got a nice big frame. Not quite the same as a Cincinnati number 2, and in some cases, thank God, they're a bit limited. And that's the big godsend with this machine. Great big cavity where the cooler system lives, and you can look inside there, find all of the electrics, although it means I'll be putting on a monkey suit and crawling inside the frame, but I don't mind. And that's just my cheap Mega I picked up off AliExpress or somewhere like that for about $85. It does the job. If it only does a couple of machines for me, that'll be good enough. But I've also got a very good collection of stops and micrometer stops, so I should be able to rig this up reasonably well. Tomorrow I'll try and drag out the accessories and give you a look at the gear that I've got for it. Bye for now. G'day guys, I'm back again. This is the next day. A bit more on the reasons why I chose to keep the Haro grinder. It's a later model machine than the TOS by probably 10 or 12 years. It's a very versatile machine, but it has been molested a little bit, but it's all in fairly good nick. Now, most of my tool and cutter grinding work has been done with the little Clarkson workhead or the Rongfu tiny little workhead, and you get a lot of chatter. There's no mass in the body of the collet holding system to absorb vibration. Hello, look at this. I can just barely lift this bastard of a thing. It's absolutely beautiful. It's clamped on double inverted V-ways on the table, rotates and tilts. It has a latched indexing mechanism at the back that is sprung loaded. It also, I'll swing it around and show you some of the features later. If I can move the damn thing. Oh, it's a bit fat. Okay, it has a lock-in stop to lock the shaft if you have to undo any nuts. And it's got an interesting adjustment here, and this is for putting secondary clearances on or grinding involute gear cutters. It's attached to the indexing ring through a little spigot. You can actually index the plate to the main shaft of the workhead. So you can grind your primary clearance, adjust a couple of screws here and change the clearance and grind the rest. All of this mechanism is just quick disconnect to take it all off. There is also a pulley to go over the front here if you want a cylinder grind with this. That's the bracket for the motor, but I won't be using any of that since I've got the Jones and shipment. Right, it's I think 50 International in the back, or BS 50 taper, whatever the bloody hell it is. I've never used that end of a workhead, so I'm not really interested. 5 Morse taper in the front end, and I've got a 5 Morse taper to 3 Morse reducer. I'll cut the back end of that off to turn it into an open end socket, and then I can use standard ER32 collet chucks, etc. to do all the collet work. Now, it's got all the important parts. Most of the grinders I've inherited have been bare, or you might get a workhead or one centre, etc. It's got a very good pair of centres. One is quick action, and for some reason the operating lever is on the other side. I can't understand that. It's also, that'll be the phone, Reg. It's herself. I better take it. Back at it again. I think I was rambling on about the workhead. It's a fine piece of machinery. When the indexing plate was manufactured, I think he missed a couple of turns on the dividing head. But what I can do, he did correct it. I'll mark the correct slots and just machine them a little bit deeper and then turn the incorrect slots off. So that'll be quite an easy fix. So you can index off the direct indexing ring here, or it's also got an indexing finger. Spin this around and you can index off the cutter at the other end. Down in the boxes I've got, they're too heavy to lift up. There is a big elbow-shaped casting, so you can mount the motor at 90 degrees to how it is now and then swing it round to have the motor over the table, which would probably be good for when you're working between centres for long reamers or things like that, although I don't get to do many long reamers. And there's also two internal grinding spindles, and I don't think I'll use them. I've got the internal grinder on the Jones & Shipman. So there is a coolant tank come with it. I'm not going to be using flood coolant like that grinding cutters. I might set up a mist cooling system or an air blast. And I have seen one fellow over in the States produces an item, I think it's called Cool Blast or Blast Cool. And all it is a little, like a Venturi, it induces much more airflow than you get out of the air nozzle, just with a little inducer Venturi. Lots and lots of little accessories came with this machine. They're the arbors that the grinding wheels mount on. It's got a collet system here, and it's really well made. Whoever the tool maker was that was operating this machine, he did one hell of a job on all of the arbors. Really well put together. And I've got a few blanks that have just been started, so quite happy with that. This is their electrics out. 3 blue wires, 3 red wires, and an earth. So that's going to be very, very simple. It's only got 2-speed windings and reverse to winding, so I can have a look at the existing switch, which is beautifully made. The Swiss make nice electrics. If that's crook, I can put another switch in there, or I can put a VFD in. And I'm starting to lean more towards a VFD. I can't understand why, but the Swiss electrics, in some respect, are very crude. Where the 3-phase line comes in, it goes into a junction box, and I assume there's fuses behind there, and then it comes out to like a bus bar system made out of large chocolate blocks with wires jumping between them. And I thought, good God, there's about 8 places for a rat to chew on there and get quite nicely electrocuted. Not that I'd worry about a dead rat, but yeah, that's the only place that I've seen this machine might let me down. But I think also another reason I like this machine, the table runs on balls, so I'm not going to finish up like the Clarkson or the Wrong Fu with dovetails that wear and give you a little bit of slop. It'll make it easier to run. And also, there's enough real estate here for me to leave 2 workheads set up, or relief grinding attachment and a workhead. So that'll make it a little bit easier for me. And everything doesn't have to be worked off the inverted V-ways because it's got a T-slot down the middle of the table, so I can just key an attachment, drop it in there, lock it up, and away you go. So, yep, this will be the machine. I'll take the table off it at least. I have to because the cable operating mechanism has been removed and a bloody chain put in there of all things. So I don't know what I'll be using to drive the table. I don't think it'll be too hard to set up. It's also got really big hand wheels with nice big scales. None of these farty little divisions where you can't tell half of them. Quite good. Not much backlash in it, so I'm happy. Okay, if you've got any questions, just put a note down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And see you guys in a couple of days' time.